Hello, Marvel fans! I've just watched Kraven the Hunter on Netflix, and I must admit it's quite better than Madame Web. Okay, I also admit I did not watch in the movies. So what the heck? Today, we are going to talk about Kraven the Hunter movie comparison against the comics. So sit back and let's hunt. Or what I mean is, let's rock! Kraven the Hunter is not an accurate translation of Marvel Comics, yet fans do not appear to be complaining. The comic book character varies from a showy and ridiculous adversary to a deceitful, psychotic genius. But he never quite becomes the anti-hero he is on cinema. Here's how Sony's Kraven the Hunter modified the character for its adaptation. But be warned, spoilers follow only for those who are planning to watch it. So here it goes. Sergei Kravenov hails from a wealthy Russian family with a passion for big game trophy hunting. As a young man, he took a supernatural serum that gave him increased strength, sense, and vigor, qualities he attributed to the animals he hunted. Those two statements may be applied to both the comic and film versions of Kraven, but from there, things start to deviate dramatically. Perhaps the most significant difference is in the setting, as the film modernized Kraven's origin story. The film adaptation of Kraven is significantly more contemporary, albeit the year is not mentioned. More importantly, his family background is characterized by money rather than nobility. In the film, his father is an organized crime lord who is interested in drug smuggling, among other things. Read on to learn how this alteration affects the rest of Kraven's journey. In both the comics and the film, Kraven inherited his family's interest of large game hunting, which leads to his acquisition of superpowers. However, in the original comics, he sought these abilities rather than acquiring them by chance. In his pursuit for stronger prey, he came across a witch doctor named Calypso, who offered him many herbal medicines that increased his strength, speed, and senses. The movie condenses that into a single incident. Sergei, a teenager, joins his father and brother on a hunting trip in Ghana, where he sustains a fatal wound while attempting to protect his brother from a lion. A local lady named Calypso offers him a healing serum while she calls for help, and combining this chemical with lion's blood gives Sergei animalistic abilities. So is Kraven a hero like the movie portrayed it? True. Kraven has frequently been presented as an anti-hero in comic books, and he has a strong sense of personal dignity that prevents him from performing genuinely horrific deeds. However, most critics agree that the film version of Kraven is significantly more heroic than his counterpart on the text. In the eyes of the world, this hunter is essentially a superhero. He protects nature, hunts down criminals, and fights for his family. This is a problem that the Sony Spider-Man films have always encountered. They can't use Spider-Man as a counterpoint. Therefore, his villains must take on the lead role. That implies they must become far more relatable and likable in order to carry a full-length picture on their own. It's the nature of these enterprises, and it's neither good nor bad as long as they maintain their own continuity. Now let's talk about his abilities that raised many questions. The alterations to Kraven's skills in this film pose as many mysteries as they answer. For one thing, the film mentions nothing about his increased vigor or slower aging. This explains Kraven's lengthy lifetime in the comics, but the movie brings him into the contemporary day, so it hasn't come up yet. More doubtful is his claimed ability to influence animals through telepathy. This is not evident in the comics, where he occasionally trains animals in the old-fashioned manner. However, the film appears to show him mind-controlling a wolf and then influencing an entire herd of buffalo. He may also have persuaded the bear he left behind to kill his father. Okay, just pretend you did not hear that. Next is his half-brother Chameleon. In terms of Kraven's family, his relationship with Dimitri differs dramatically between screen and page. The comics were the first to feature Kraven as the half-brother of the Chameleon, also known as Dmitry Smerdyakov. In the 1980s and 1990s, the creative group J.M. DeMatteis, Mike Zeck, and Bob McLeod created multiple popular retcons in the storyline Kraven's Last Hunt, re-examining this fraternal connection along the way. Their account indicated that Sergei was abusive to Dmitri's children, which has long been accepted as canon. Instead, the film focuses on Sergei's attempts to shelter Dmitri from their father's abuse, only for Dmitri to eventually take over the family business. It worked well in the framework of the film, but some fans were frustrated that there was no opportunity to address sibling-on-sibling abuse in a blockbuster picture. This dynamic is not discussed as frequently as parental abuse in popular culture, thus it may have been therapeutic for some. Sony was still intending to build out its slate of Marvel-adjacent films at the moment, so introducing these two brothers together made sense in some manner. Dmitry Smerdyakov, played by actor Numan Akar, had previously featured in the MCU in Spider-Man: Far From Home. That might have hampered future crossovers, but Sony's Spider-Man spin-off franchise is now on hold. Next is, where is Gregor Kravenov? Kraven the Hunter's bad reviews are mostly due to its determination to developing additional stories in the Sony Spider-Man realm, despite the fact that this realm has little to no larger narrative based on Marvel Comics storylines. Instead, this lore is explored in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which features the fictitious African kingdom of Wakanda. In Marvel Comics, Kraven travels to Africa following his parents' deaths and meets Aja Orisha, a Wakandan exile. The two fall in love and produce a child named Takar, later renamed Gregor Kravenov. This all happens before Sergei's true transformation into the legendary big game hunter known as Kraven. However, Kraven the Hunter does not feature any of this. As previously stated, Wakanda does not exist in the Sony Spider-Man universe, and therefore neither does Aja Orisha. As a result, Gregor Kravenov does not appear in Kraven the Hunter's origin narrative, nor is he mentioned in the future. Next is Calypso's potion was from her grandma? Calypso, a minor character in Kraven the Hunter, has a deep connection to Kraven's origins in Marvel Comics. Calypso is depicted in the comics as a Haitian voodoo priestess with knowledge of potions and serums. One of these potions imbues Sergei with the abilities required to become Kraven the Hunter, including superhuman strength, speed, and agility. In contrast, Kraven the Hunter omits this aspect of Calypso's past. Instead, the mysterious powers used to make the serum that gave birth to Kraven were credited to Calypso's grandmother, although a deeper examination of Calypso's ancestry was planned for Kraven the Hunter 2, which could have revealed her own voodoo powers. The death of the Sony Spider-Man universe means that this will not be investigated, leaving Kraven's creation to her grandmother. Let's go back to his origin. Kraven's origin story is tied to Zar the Lion. While the aforementioned serum gave Kraven his powers in Kraven the Hunter, it was also infused with the blood of a legendary lion named Zar. Zar has a far broader story in Marvel Comics, but it has nothing to do with Kraven. As a result, the plot detail of Zar's blood combining with Calypso's serum to give Kraven his superior hunter skills is wholly invented in the Sony Spider-Man universe. All right, the last one is quite surprising. Kraven does not hunt animals. In a film titled Kraven the Hunter, it may surprise you to hear that Kraven does not hunt, or at the very least he avoids hunting animals. Kraven is portrayed in the comics as having a natural talent for hunting, eventually becoming a world-renowned big game hunter, before moving on to more harder targets, such as Spider-Man and Kraven the Hunter, however. Sergei disapproves of his father's hunting. With the Sony Spider-Man universe turning Kraven the Hunter an anti-hero, the second part of his moniker refers to his ability to pursue criminals. Well, so much for the world's greatest hunter moniker. And there you have it, Marvel fans. These are some of the changes made in Kraven, the Hunter film, versus the comic books. Well, Kraven the Hunter is the next Spider-Man villain to appear in live action, with some significant deviations from his comic book counterpart. By the end of Kraven the Hunter, the character is firmly established as a version of the one from Marvel Comics. As with the rest of the Sony Spider-Man universe films and their principal characters, there are significant deviations from the original material, the most notable of which is Kraven's anti-hero mentality. Thank you for watching this video. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like this video. Thank you, and I'll see you on my next video, Marvel fans.